Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. I'm Nicodemus Kane. Today is June the 28th of 2023, at least according to their calendars and what they tell us. It is Wednesday again. That's at least according to what they tell us. We have no idea. No real idea, of course, but for right now, that's just what we have. So anyways, today is Ezekiel 48. This is the last chapter of Ezekiel. After this, like I said, I'm going to take a break. Go connect closer with the Father. To work on myself. To work on problems that I am having, both in my personal life and in my professional life. But yeah, after this, I won't be recording for a while. I don't know how long. It's like I said, could be a week, could be a month, hell, could be a couple days. I could get the itch within Friday, that I could get the itch tomorrow and just be like, no, I gotta go record something. But I am going to take some time off. I need to definitely work on myself. And the Father is telling me that I definitely need to step away from everything for a little bit so that I can get some clearance back into my life. So that's what we're doing. So, Ezekiel 48. I don't know what we're going to pull out of this. I really don't. I always say that there is something in every single piece of this. I don't know what it could be. We're going to find out, though. This is still looks like a lot of dividing the land, telling what part of Israel gets certain parts of land. So I don't know how much that's going to help us. But it is a chapter in Ezekiel. It is something that we need to learn for whatever reason. It's in the book. Everything in the book is good for study, and what did it say? Everything in the book is good for study and sound doctrine. Okay, well, let's find it. Let's see what it is. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Ezekiel 48. Now these are the names of the tribes. From the north end to the coast of the way of Hethlon, as one goeth to Hamath. Hazaranan, Hazarinan. Alright, anyways. Hazarian, the border of Damascus northward to the coast of Hamath. For these are his sides east and west, a portion for Dan. And by the border of Dan, from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Asher. And by the border of Asher, from the east side even unto the west side, a portion for Naphtali. And by the border of Naphtali, from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Manasseh. And by the border of Manasseh, from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Ephraim. And by the border of Ephraim, from the east side even unto the west side, a portion for Reuben. And by the border of Reuben, from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Judah. Yeah, okay, like I said, it's just dividing the lands. There's probably something in it. You want to go through the names? We can go through every single one of these names. Starting back up at the top. Now these are the names of the tribes, from the north end to the coast of the way of Hethlon. Hethlon means a hiding place. As one goeth to Hamath, which is a fortress. Hazaranan It looks better whenever it's not hyphenated. Hazaranan. Kasaranan. Non. Okay, it's a village of fountains. The border of Damascus. Damascus is silent is the sackcloth weaver. Northward to the coast of Hamath. For these are his sides, east and west, a portion for Dan. Dan meaning the judge, the fifth son of Jacob. And by the border of Dan, from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Asher. Who was Asher? Asher was a son of Jacob and Ziphlah. I don't remember which one it was. I used to have a list, and I think it's in my notebook that I used to have at work, which means it's probably buried inside of that box. I used to have a list of all the names of the sons of Israel. And by the border of Asher, from the east side, even unto the west side, a portion for Naphtali, which is the fifth son, and the second by Bilhah, the handmaid of Rachel. And by the border of Naphtali, from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Manasseh. This is the eldest son. Okay. And by the border of Manasseh, from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Ephraim. Double ash heap, I shall be doubly. Should I go through the meanings? So Dan is a judge. Asher was happy. Naphtali was wrestling. Manasseh is causing to forget. The eldest son of Joseph, causing to forget. And Ephraim is double ash heap. I shall be doubly fruitful. Okay. And by the border of Ephraim, from the east side, even unto the west side, a portion for Reuben. Reuben is, behold, his son. This is the eldest son of Jacob by Leah. And by the border of Reuben, from the east side, let me make sure I'm still in the same place. Okay. By the east side, unto the west side, a portion for Judah. Judah means praised, the son of Jacob by Leah. Okay. Again, there might be something in there. I am not the one to be able to pull it out. So verse 8, and by the border of Judah, from the east side unto the west side, shall be the offering which ye shall offer of 25,000 reeds in breadth, and in length as one of the other parts, from the east side unto the west side, and the sanctuary shall be in the midst of it. The oblation that ye shall offer unto the Lord shall be of 25,000 in length, and of 10,000 in breadth. And for them, even for the priests, shall be this holy oblation: toward the north 25,000 in length, and toward the west 10,000 in breadth, and toward the east 10,000 in breadth, and toward the south 25,000 in length. And the sanctuary of the Lord shall be in the midst thereof. It shall be for the priests that are sanctified of the sons of Zadok, which have kept my charge, which went not astray when the children of Israel went astray, as the Levites went astray. And this oblation of the land that is offered shall be unto them a thing most holy by the border of the Levites. And over against the border of the priests, the Levites shall have 25,000 in length, and 10,000 in breadth. All the length shall be 25,000, and the breadth 10,000. And they shall not sell it. And then let's try that again. And they shall not sell of it, neither exchange, nor alienate the first fruits of the land, for it is holy unto the Lord. All right, back up to verse 8. And by the border of Judah, from the east side unto the west side, shall be the offering which ye shall offer of 25,000 reeds in breadth. Now, that's pretty big. Remember, these reeds we said are about 9 feet, so 25,000 reeds is pretty big. And in length as one of the other parts, from the east side unto the west side, and the sanctuary shall be in the midst of it. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brothers on, or 6 tribes on one side, You have the sanctuary right in dead smack in the middle, and I got a feeling that all the other 6 are going to be on the other side. Verse 9, the oblation that ye shall offer unto the Lord shall be of 5 and 20,000 in length, and of 10,000 in breadth. And for them, even for the priests, shall be this holy oblation, toward the north 5 and 20,000 in length, and toward the west 10,000 in breadth, and toward the east 10,000 in breadth, and toward the south 5 and 20,000 in length. And the sanctuary of the Lord shall be in the midst thereof. Now we were talking about this, the way that it's set up, that you have the sanctuary, and then you have this like rectangular place for the priests. You have this, rectangular place for the people of Israel that, come to live there. But then this is now saying that on either side of this, from east to west, on either side of the sanctuary, you have the tribes of Israel spreading out. I had said before that even the way that it was described with the sanctuary, and the way that, they said that the land was supposed to be divided up, it sounds similar to a cross. This is becoming more like that. Only the cross, I think, might be on its side. I don't know. We're going to keep reading. We're going to see. Other opinions are probably available, and it does not have to look like that. But I don't know. Let me see if there's a 48 tribes map. You think that would work? Oh, there's a map. As soon as I pull it up, there is a map. Yeah, it goes. It's not going east to west. It's going top to bottom. Again, supposedly on the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. Now, again, I'm not going to say what is and isn't where they tell us things are, but I'm just going to say, hey, it doesn't have to be there. There are other places in the world that have similar names, that have similar geography, have similar what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say topography. That doesn't make any sense. Geography, though, it does. There are places in America that have similar geography to what the Bible describes when somebody's walking from point A to point B, or somebody goes from here to there. For now, though, we could just say it's where it is. It doesn't have to be. Could be anywhere. Could be any. I don't remember what it was. I was what was it? Something I was reading. I don't think it was. I don't remember what it was. Anyways, it was. I was reading it, and they were describing the geography of a place, and it sounded extremely familiar. That was a Japanese temple or something. I don't remember what it was, but it sounded extremely similar to the stuff that we've just been reading over, from Ezekiel 40 to 46 or 47, and it just kind of snapped into my head that, what if we're talking about Japan? It doesn't have to be either America or, the Mediterranean Sea. What if it's something else? What if there's something bigger than we know? I mean, even guys have even said that the city of St. Petersburg in Russia is set up like Jerusalem. Now, I'm not going to say that anything is anything. Again, we don't know 100% for certain. There are so many people that will say, "Oh yes, it's exactly where Israel is, exactly where people say it is." Well, okay, that's something you can say. That's fine. But again, why is it that there are other places that have similar geography that have had these names for years? These places that we have never been told about, that they go out of their way to hide. Why are these places so similar? So I'm not saying that that's what it is. It's like I said, there's maps. Go look it up. It's like I said, Ezekiel 48 tribes map. And it's just from north to south. Dan, Asher, Naphtali, Manasseh, Ephraim, Reuben, Judah, and then the temple. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more under that. Why are there only 5 more? Because one of those tribes was the Levites. They were the ones that were their inheritance. Was not the land. Theirs was the priesthood. So they get stuck right dead smack in the middle. Alright, let's keep going now. Where were we at? And for them even, verse 10, and for them even for the priests shall be this holy oblation, toward the north 5,020,000 in length, and toward the west 10,000 in breadth, and toward the east 10,000 in breadth, and toward the south 5,020,000 in length. And the sanctuary of the Lord shall be in the midst thereof. Alright. Verse 11, it shall be for the priests that are sanctified of the sons of Zadok, which have kept my charge, which went not astray when the children of Israel went astray, as the Levites went astray. It's their inheritance, their portion, to be the priests. This is, Zadok was, let me just check and make sure. I always love to check and make sure. Zadok was one of the sons of the high priest, father of Jerusalem. What? I thought one of these it said that Zadok was came from the tribe, or it was part of the Levites. Because Levi was the third son of Jacob. But they were the ones that kept it, because the Levites fell astray too. Everybody fell away. 12. And this oblation of the land that is offered shall be unto them a thing most holy, by the border of the Levites. And over against the border of the priests the Levites shall have 5,020,000 in length, and 10,000 in breadth. All the length shall be 5,020,000, and the breadth 10,000. And they shall not sell of it, neither exchange, nor alienate the first fruits of the land, for it is holy unto the Lord. Alright, 15. And the 5,000 that are left in the breadth over against the 5,020,000 shall be a profane place for the city, for dwelling, and for suburbs, and the city shall be in the midst thereof, and these shall be the measures thereof. The north side 4,500, and the south side 4,500, and on the east side 4,500, and on the west side 4,500. And the suburbs of the city shall be toward the north 250, and toward the south 250, and toward the east 250, and toward the west 250. And the residue of length over against the oblation of the holy portion shall be 10,000 eastward, and 10,000 westward. and it shall be over against the oblation of the holy portion, and the increase thereof shall be for food unto them that serve the city, and they that serve the city shall serve it. Okay. 19 again, and they that serve the city shall serve it out of all the tribes of Israel. All the oblation shall be 5 and 20,000 by 5 and 20,000. Ye shall offer the holy oblation foursquare with the possession of the city. That was a little bit of a tongue twister. Back up to 15. And the 5,000 that are left in the breadth over against the 5 and 20,000 shall be a profane place for the city, for dwelling, and for suburbs, and the city shall be in the midst thereof. It says profane. It is not a holy place. It is a place where they live. It does not mean that it's a bad, evil place. It just means that it's not part of the holy sanctuary. It's not part of the temple. Unholy. It does not mean anything completely and totally bad just yet. It is a place for dwelling, for the suburbs. 16, and these shall be the measures thereof. The north side 4,500, and the south side 4,500, and on the east side 4,500, and on the west side 4,500. Now, I'm not the greatest mathematician in the world, but I'm just going to generally assume that this is a square. Something tells me it's a square. 17, and the suburbs of the city shall be toward the north 250, and toward the south 250, and toward the east 250, and toward the west 250. Now, I'm not the greatest mathematician in the world, but this sounds like a square. 18. I know I shouldn't be joking, but it's just... Have I ever talked about the words that the Bible uses? That it uses these words repetitiously and just over and over again, and you wonder why, and then you have to stop and think, well, what's inside there? What's going on in the book that it has to spell these things out so much? I don't know what it is. I've seen enough of those Bible code videos and the whole thing to think that it's probably something. There's probably something to that. Especially when the Bible goes out of its way, when it could have just very descriptively said, hey, this thing is 4,500, a side is 4,500 on all four sides or something like that. I mean, we've seen that kind of descriptive language before within the past couple chapters. So why is it that this time, this one time, this very specific time, it has to go out of its way to say one side is this long, one side is this long, one side is this long, and one side is this long? Something's going on there. I'm not the one to be able to pull that stuff out. But when your Bible goes out of its way to say something like that, you gotta kind of think, well, okay, maybe there is something. I don't know. I just find it interesting. It's a very fascinating, interesting book. It is a living book, and whenever you read it through 2 or 3 times, it changes. And you find more things. You pop more things out of it. And, things stick out. And you're like, what is this? Where did this come from? And not only does it change, it changes you as you read it too. So there's some kind of power here. I don't know what it is, but there's some kind of power going on just within the words alone. Anyways, verse 18, and the residue in length over against the oblation of the holy portion shall be 10,000 eastward and 10,000 westward, and it shall be over against the oblation of the holy portion, and the increase thereof shall be for food unto them that serve the city. We saw something similar to that in the last chapter. 19, and they that serve the city shall serve it out of all the tribes of Israel. She sells seashells by the seashore. 20, all the oblations shall be 5 and 20,000 by 5 and 20,000. Ye shall offer the holy oblation foursquare with the possession of the city. Ye shall offer the holy oblation foursquare. Well, see, there it is. Anyways, 21. Where does this go? Come on now. I can't turn the page. 21 goes to 30. All right. There's 35 verses, so we're going to 30. It's 21. Wait a minute. Wait just 1 second. Alright, verse 20, oops. I turned the mute button on. The mute button is on the side of my my little volume thing on my headset. So I hit the mute button, I turned it off, and then I turned it back on, then I dropped it. And when I did, the volume, the volume went all the way up. It's an old set of headphones. What do you want? I mean, these headphones are, what, at least 10 years old. But they keep working. Hey, you know, it is what it is. 21, and the residue shall be for the prince on the one side and on the other of the holy oblation, and of the possession of the city, over against the 5 and 20,000 of the oblation toward the east border, and westward against the 5 and 20,000 toward the west border, over against the portions for the prince. And it shall be the holy oblation, and the sanctuary of the house shall be in the midst thereof. Moreover, from the possession of the Levites, and from the possession of the city, being in the midst of that which is the prince's, between the border of Judah and the border of Benjamin, shall be for the prince. As for the rest of the tribes, from the east side unto the west side, Benjamin shall have a portion. And by the border of Benjamin, from the east side unto the west side, Simeon shall have a portion. And by the border of Simeon, from the east side unto the west side, Issachar a portion. And by the border of Issachar, from the east side unto the west side, Zebulun a portion. And by the border of Zebulun, from the east side unto the west side, Gad a portion. And by the border of Gad, at the south side southward, the border shall be even from Tamar unto the waters of strife in Kadesh, and to the river toward the great sea. This is the land which ye shall divide by lot unto the tribes of Israel for inheritance, and these are their portions, saith the Lord God. Back up to 21. I know, we're getting through it. It is a lot of this is this and this is that, but there's meaning to it somewhere. There's meaning to it somewhere. 21. And the residue shall be for the prince, on the one side and on the other of the holy oblation, and of the possession of the city, over against the 5 and 20,000 of the oblation toward the east border, and westward, over against the 5 and 20,000 toward the west border, over against the portions for the prince. And it shall be the holy oblation, and the sanctuary of the house shall be in the midst thereof. Now that is, it was saying that everything on one side of the temple and on the other side of the temple, that was for the prince. We read that in, it was either 46 or 47, I can't remember what it was. But that's exactly what that's saying too, in a different kind of way. 22, moreover, from the possession of the Levites, and from the possession of the city, being in the midst of that which is the prince's, between the border of Judah and the border of Benjamin, shall be for the prince. As for the rest of the tribes, from the east side unto the west side, Benjamin shall have a portion. Benjamin, 23. Where are we at? Benjamin, son of the right hand, youngest son of Jacob, was Benjamin. And by the border of Benjamin was the one that, wasn't Benjamin the one that Joseph took back to Egypt, or he kept in Egypt? Wasn't that what it was? Because they all went down to ask for food because of the famine, and Joseph said, you know, bring your father here, and I'll talk to him. And he said, I'm going to keep Benjamin. Something like that. It's been a while since I've heard the story. Just saying, it's been a while since I've heard the story. Anyways, the youngest son of Jacob. 24, and by the border of Benjamin, from the east side unto the west side, Simeon shall have a portion. Simeon is one of Jacob's sons, second son of Jacob by his wife Leah. His name means herd. And by the border of Simeon, from the east side unto the west side, Issachar shall have a portion. Son of Jacob, ninth son of Jacob, and the fifth by Leah his first wife. There is recompense. And by the border of Issachar, and by the border of Issachar, from the east side unto the west side, Zebulun a portion. Zebulun means exalted. He is the 10th of the sons of Jacob, sixth and last of Leah. All right. If I can turn the page, 27, and by the border of Zebulun, from the east side unto the west side, Gad a portion. Gad, of course, seventh son of Jacob by Zilpah. Zilpah? I almost thought it was Zilphla, something like that. Zilpah. It means troop. Troop. Wasn't the sons of Gad, wasn't the sons of Gad, weren't they the big fighting army? Is that what it was? Something like that. They were the big fighting army. Their name means troop. Could be wrong on that. And by the border of Gad on the south side southward, the border shall be even from Tamar unto the waters of strife in Kadesh, and to the river toward the great sea. The great sea they always talk about is the Mediterranean, and I say, says who? See, even the word sea, they have the definition as Mediterranean. It is specifically the Mediterranean Sea. 29. This is the land which ye shall divide by lots unto the tribes of Israel for inheritance, and these are their portions, saith the Lord God. Is it just those people of the tribes of Israel? No, it's not. We read in the last chapter where it said that the stranger that was in between that was in them, whatever place, whatever tribe they are in at the time, they will be a part of that tribe. Just so you know. Verse 30, this will end it out, 30 to 35. And these are the goings out of the city on the north side, 4,500 measures. And the gates of the city shall be after the names of the tribes of Israel, 3 gates northward, 1 gate of Reuben, 1 gate of Judah, 1 gate of Levi. And on the east side, 4,500, and 3 gates, and 1 gate of Joseph, 1 gate of Benjamin, 1 gate of Dan. And at the south side, 4,500 measures, and 3 gates, 1 gate of Simeon, 1 gate of Issachar, 1 gate of Zebulun. At the west side, 4,500 with their 3 gates, 1 gate of Gad, 1 gate of Asher, 1 gate of Naphtali. It was round about 18,000 measures, and the name of the city from that day shall be, The Lord is there. All right. I was going to say something about this tiny little place that is promised to the people of Israel. This teeny tiny little place in this world. It's not even bigger than what? I don't even think it's even bigger than Texas. I mean, it's not really that big at all. New Jersey. It's as big as New Jersey. This teeny, tiny little place that God has said is for his holy people. I'm not saying the Bible is wrong. What I am saying is the measuring stick that was used to measure all this out. Remember, it said it's, 4,500 measures of this reed. This reed is, what did it say, 5 cubits, 6 cubits, whatever it was? I don't know what it was. And the cubit is based upon the length of a man's hand from his elbow to the tips of his fingers. It's about 18 inches. That's what we consider a cubit. This whole place, and it's just this teeny tiny little area the size of New Jersey. I'm not saying that the Bible is wrong. I've never claimed that at all. I'm saying what we are told as measurements could be wrong. The size of the people in the Bible could be vastly different. I've talked about this before, about giants, about how people were bigger and they've shrunk over the years. If that's true, the size of the cubit has shrunk over the years. And I'm not saying that it's, however many thousands of years ago that these boys were 10, 12 feet tall, but even then, even 7-foot guys that are only a foot taller, have wingspans that are, it's not 72 inches, 84 inches. Because your wingspan is just slightly, slightly shorter than your height. On average, like I'm 5'10", my wingspan would be about 5'7", 5'8". I don't know, I've never actually measured it. I can measure it right now if you want me to. I actually have a tape measure on the thing. But even at 7 feet tall, that's a 7-foot wingspan. Half of that is 4 feet. Let's just say a 4-foot cubit. It's pretty damn big. So even just a foot taller changes all the perspectives. What if? Just what if? Again, I come at this from a perspective of we don't know the whole truth. I don't think we ever can know the whole truth. But something's being hidden. Something has always been hidden from us. I have no idea what it is. All I have is speculation. So take that however you will. But when I hear stuff like this and I see the map and I think it's just this little tiny place, no bigger than the size of New Jersey, that is the promised land for the people of Israel. Where's all the rest of the land going? What's happening with the rest of everything else? It makes you think, It makes you think. Is the rest of the world going to be that eternal pit of fire that we hear about? I mean, even then, it's not. Everybody says that the earth right now is overpopulated. There's too many people. That's not really. No, that's. I think now the size is Texas. I think if you took every single human being, put them shoulder to shoulder, they would fit into the state of Texas. I think before somebody said that it was, just Florida. Now I think it's Texas. What about the rest of the real estate? Where does all that go? What happens there? The world is not overpopulated. Cities are overpopulated. People want to live where all the decadence is. That's why the cities are populated. We all have enough land. Everybody has enough land that Everybody in the world could probably have 1 acre all to themselves and still be comfortable. Probably more than that, and still be comfortable. But no, everybody wants to live right on top of everybody else. And now they're forcing us into those cities, but that's a whole nother story. What if it's something else? What if it's something else that we're missing? What if we've intentionally been blinded to it? And I can say that and not have it not be biblical, because even Christ said, do not let any man deceive you. Even now, the spirit of iniquity moves through, and even now they're lying about what they're saying. Even now, the Bible goes out of its way to tell you not to trust man. Don't trust me either. Figure it out. Alright, anyways. Verse 30, and these are the goings out of the city on the north side, 4,500 measures. And the gates of the city shall be after the names of the tribe of Israel, 3 gates northward, 1 gate of Reuben, 1 gate of Judah, 1 gate of Levi. That's on the, where did I say that was? Northward. And at the east side, 4,500, and 3 gates, and 1 gate of Joseph, and 1 gate of Benjamin, 1 gate of Dan. That's the east side. And on the south side, 4,500 measures, and 3 gates, 1 gate of Simeon, 1 gate of Issachar, 1 gate of Zebulun. This is the south side of it. At the west side, 4,500 with their 3 gates, and 1 gate of Gad, 1 gate of Asher, 1 gate of Naphtali. And that is on the west side. It was round about 18,000 measures, and the name of the city from that day shall be, the Lord is there. Jehovah Shammah. Jehovah is there. The symbolic name for Jerusalem. Jehovah Shammah. Shammah. And that is that. So Ezekiel started off strong, just pointing out everything. Remember, the biggest thing that Ezekiel started out saying is, no matter how bad you think it is on the surface, no matter how bad you think somebody is doing something here, it's always worse behind closed doors. He said, if you think there's degeneracy going on here, hey, check out this crack in the wall. Look what these guys are doing. The priests in the temple who would go from the sacrifices, would go straight from the sacrifices into the back room and pray to the sun. Hold on a second. I'm still here. Just hold on. Alright, I got a grandchild in the room. But this, it was saying that no matter how bad you thought it was far worse on the surface. Or no matter how bad it was on the surface, it was far worse behind closed doors. And it talked about how bad things had gotten, what people were doing. Was Ezekiel the one where it talked about the mothers and their children? Is that what that was? I don't remember that. That could have been Jeremiah. I don't remember. But anyways, Ezekiel, we actually got through it all. It's like I said there towards the end, it kind of petered out, didn't it? It was just it was all, really good learning, and then it just became, hey, we're going to talk about what it's like at the end. We had a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of interesting learning on this. So, with that, I'm taking a break. I'm going to sleep in for a couple days. Do more extensive praying and just try to get myself together. It's like I said, I am in a bad spot. So I am taking a break. When I come back, I don't know what we're going to do. If anybody has any suggestions, feel free. I needed to get the 3 books out. Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel. I needed to get them out because those were the 3 that, when you read them, you get that understanding of all the things we're not supposed to be doing. So that was that. There's a reason why those books are dead smack in the middle of the Bible. When you open them up, it immediately tells you, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. Hey, you shouldn't be doing that. Hey, you should probably, watch out for these things. But yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do next, and it's gonna be a while. I need to take a break. I need to sleep in. I need to get sleep. I haven't been sleeping very well. I haven't been eating very well. I've barely been eating at all. I've been dropping weight like crazy. There is a level of stress in the house, a level of bitterness and vitriol in the house. Everyone's kind of chewing at each other. We need it to stop. We need to come together, and I definitely, for myself, need to take that time to consider what's going on. So, with that, I thank you guys for coming around and listening. God bless everyone. You take care of yourselves. I will talk to you guys whenever. I don't know when. So, everyone, take care of yourselves. God bless. I will see you later.